James Mloy is the president of Athletics South Africa. Took over, I think, in 2021. Yeah, in 2021 they were world champs in 22 and 23. He's a man that before that had come from Gauteng, so he's got a very long history of athletics leadership, athletics administration in this country. Last week when they came back, you remember, I was seething. I was really, really uncomfortable and mad at what we'd done. It was embarrassing, frankly. I mean, you can go back to 2021 perhaps and say, hey, let's take a look at what happened in 2022, because remember, there wasn't because of COVID. And you look at the countries that have done well at that time. You know, you might say, no, Andile, but yeah, fine. The United States with 13 golds, 11 bronzes, 9 silvers, they were better. Ethiopia, because of the long distance runners, they came second with 4 golds, 4 silvers and bronze. You know, Jamaica. And then Kenya did better than us as well. Peru did better than us as well. These are countries that have done better than us. Dominican Republic, Grenada, Nigeria, Uganda. Uganda got 1 gold and 2 bronze medals. They did better than us. Nigeria got 1 silver and 1 gold. They did better than us. You can't tell me that all of these countries, Kazakhstan got 1 gold. This is back now in 2022. Those are the countries that medaled. We didn't get anything as South Africa. So talk to me. What is it that we're great at? What is it that maybe we should be looking at and be like, yeah, this is it for us? Because it's definitely not this. I'll tell you that much. Definitely not this. I'll tell you that much for free. And then now, the latest ones. In Budapest. We're watching, all eyes of the world. We're waking up at all sorts of hours to take a look at what happened. United States, once again, 12 medals. Canada was second this time around. Spain was third. Jamaica, Kenya in 5th position with 10 medals. I've been to Kenya. You've been to Kenya. Because I don't want the thing to say, no, but the United States, Canada have better equipment, have better, fine. What about Kenya, who did better than us? Uganda, once again, they got 2 golds. They did better than us. Even though Yali were Ukraine, they still did better than us. India did better than us. Botswana, with 2 medals, did better than us. We got 0. We got nothing. Let's try and call him again now, Timmy. Let's call the president of Athletics South Africa, James Mloy. He's agreed to speak to us. I did let him know that I am absolutely not happy, and I'd love to get an explanation alongside many South Africans as to why it is that we take 36 members. That's a huge conglomerate of players, 30 of athletes, 36 of them. 3 make it to a final.
You had reached the voicemail light service of 0832.
Okay. Yeah. I'm hearing load shedding. I'm not sure if that's a real thing right now. Not when we had planned this so long ago and not when we agreed to do it. Load shedding schedule gets released for all to see. It's not good enough. You're a president, a leader. You've made a commitment to be on radio at 6 o'clock. It's 26 after the hour 6. Load shedding is not a good enough excuse, Brother James. It's just not. We'll keep trying again. But in the meantime, a lot of you want to air out your opinions, and I'd love to hear them. Because I want to know, should we close our borders and say, let's do this ourselves until we're able to get out there? In football, we were all mad at Hugo Bruce when he came here. And he looked at us in our faces and told us the truth. It was a truth that many of us were not ready to hear. And he said, let me show you who you are. Let me put you up against a team that would go on to finish second in the World Cup. I don't need to tell you what the score was when we played France. I'm not going to talk about cricket. Even at a time when we've had the best players in the world, the best team in the world, we're number 1 in the rankings, we've still never been number 1 as far as lifting that trophy is concerned. I've still got scars from Alan Donald and Lance Kloosner in the semi-final against against Australia. I've still got PTSD from that. Banyana, they did great at the World Cup. They really did. They did amazing. They did way better than what anybody expected them to do, although I feel they could have done better. But yes, we are not world beaters in that arena either. Let's play some voice notes. Hopefully, by the time we get off the air, we would have heard from Athletics South Africa, because there's another thing in South Africa. It's accountability. It's accountability. People need to be accountable. Can't blame everything on apartheid. Some things are on us. Some things are on us. Accountability is an important thing, President. And those in and around the President who are listening right now, who are helping us secure this is not it. This speaks volumes of the department, of the association.
Sports Night Amplified with Andile on Metro FM. Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m.
Hey Andile, I'll tell you what we're good at as South Africans.
And then now,
by the way, this is Usiana and Galomena.
Talk to me.
We're good at boxing. Right now, we have an IBF light flyweight boxing champion, world boxing champion, Usivenati Lunchinga from the Eastern Cape. I was honored. I was lucky enough that when I decided to take my health seriously again and join a gym seriously again, it was him that trained me. I remember the first week it was him at Fight Club Morningside. But yeah, we're great at boxing.
I think we used to be great at boxing, Sianda. I think now we're just good.
Abo Nick Durant, I mean, that guy used to train Floyd Mayweather. Used to fly him over to the USA so he could train him. So yeah, we're great at boxing.
I'm not sure if we're great at boxing. We've covered boxing here. I remember when we were great at boxing. That's when we would have 4 or 5 world champions at a time. That's when we would have the Vuyani Bungus hold on to their titles for title defenses of 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Dingantobela, Baby Jake. I remember, we could go on with the amazing boxers that we've had in the past. Right now, you cannot rattle off names the way I just did of boxers of the past who've had world champions, defended them 4, 5, 6 times and held on to them. I don't think it's possible right now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Olandilo Laman Bon. I won't tell you what we are good at. I'll tell you why we are not good at stuff. So our country, like there's too much bribery going on. People are in wrong positions. Correct players are not chosen. They choose players who have money. So if you have money, media will focus on you, because whenever you can bribe your way up. Right people are there. We do have good players, but they are not chosen. In all sports is like that. Wrong people are chosen, and that's why the country is going down in sports. Our sports is a joke. Our sport is a joke.
There's a little bit of, and I don't want to go into the joke because I don't know that for a fact. But what I can go at is how many of us know people that we say, hey, we don't know why this person never played because but never made it. So maybe our scouting systems to get the best out of our people and give them the opportunity to be seen. We can talk about that. Do we have the best at what we do representing us? Is our lightweight IBF contender the best in that country? That maybe we can take a look at. What about even in the football teams? Are the 11s that come out, that for the 18s that come out, the 36-man squad that teams have, or more or less to others, are they the best available? I can go to cricket, rugby, etc., etc. Or do we lose too many because the system is just not good enough?
Good evening, Andile.
Hey.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. South African sport is something else, but one thing that I know that the rest of the world will not beat us at is umdanso ni amapiano, but sportically, I would not even bet on South Africa.
I don't know if we're the best at umdanso. I've seen the dancing world champions. There's dancing of all forms. Remember that? There's ballroom dancing. There's what is it called? Freestyle dancing that is hosted at the Red Bull World Champions. We don't win that. We don't. There's hip hop dancing. We don't win that at a world stage. We don't win that at a world stage. That's a fact. Are we really good at it on TikTok? I'm sure we are. I'm sure we are. But at a world stage, are we the best? Are we the best? That's not what the trophies say.
Hola Andile, yeah, Andile. Kunzima Andile. Akukho la simnandi khona but yeah, ngicabanga ukuthi irugby. Yeah, ngerugby yawo will go far, siyacompete. Yeah, I think irugby. Yeah, ukhuluma no Jackie waseTsepiso. Hola Andile, hola ma.
Thank you.
Evening, in the team.
Hey.
Greeting to Metro FM sports lovers. It's Derek. I'm Guni from Amlazi.
What's up, Derek?
My thinking, I think our rugby squad are a great squad we have in South Africa. And at any given time, we can just bet on our rugby team, the Springboks, with any team in the world, any countries. We can bet on the rugby. It's all I can say, but I'll not take much of your time. Great show, by the way. It's Derek Amguni from Umlazi, Durban.
New Zealand wins it in 87. They win it in 91. In 1995, South Africa win one of the most beautiful trophies there is as rugby world champions. We don't win it again for another 2 years because in 99, it's Australia, then England the following year. The third time we're trying again in 2007, South Africa win it. We don't win it 2 times again because New Zealand win it the 2 times. We win it again in 2019. So out of 9 tries, I'm talking about, actually not even because we started in 95. We've won it 3 times. Yes, we can say we are the best in the world at that. And right now, we are the best in the world because we're the world trophy holders, we're the world title holders, we're the world champions. I concede to that, to rugby. I agree with you. Is that the only bed we all sleep in? Jeez, not enough space, huh?
Hey, Andile. Yeah, what are we good at? Definitely not soccer.
And it's sad to admit that because we think we are.
I don't know, maybe lying. Yeah, we're good at lying. Yeah, South Africans can lie, Baba. Hey, yeah, even our leadership lies. They lie for a living. Yeah, I know we can lie.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that. Let me go to Spusiso. Spusiso's out in Timby. So Spusiso, I'm supposed to be hosting the president of Athletics South Africa. And Athletics South Africa, we couldn't even get that right at the moment. So, yeah, here's where we are. What's up? Sabu.
Hey, brother.
Hey, talk to me, man.
How's it, man?
I'm not good.
I'm also not good. I'm very much disappointed, eh? Yes, but I can say after the Springbok, let us give it to Banyana. Look, after winning the WAFCON, look how far did they went.
How far did they go? They went to the last 16.
The first time, which team did they went to the last?
Yeah, we're not talking about which team in South Africa.
Never went there.
I hear you, and I agree with you completely that they've done well in South Africa. They've done well as a South African country. As a South African sporting code. They've done well in Africa even. But what I'm asking you is, what are we the best at in the world?
I can say rugby. Rugby, we are the best when it comes to rugby. None other than rugby, and let's give it to alcohol. Because all our
to who?
Our athletes, alcohol.
What's that?
Yeah.
Imbombi.
No,
man, let's be serious, Busiso. Imbombi. The thing that is killing our youth as it is, that don't make it onto the sporting field. The thing that is at the moment such a priority, that people don't do what they're supposed to do in order for us to get to where we want to as a country. No, man.
Exactly.
No. Sbuar and Tembisa, I hear you. Thank you so much. But no, that's not it. Let's go to Edward. Edward is in Krugersdorp. Edward, I'm not wearing my friendly smile today. I am not happy.
Hi, Andile.
Hey, man.
Sukumba nto ukuthi uzawufa inhliziyo.
Luthando le country yam.
Eva nto yakuthi the problem in South Africa, the only thing we are good at is you know, there's a caller who said we're good in lying, but the accountability ayikho. There's one thing that we are good at, to bring politics in sports. And the moment you bring politics in sports, you're into yawa. Iraqi says the time is coming when this leadership will be in rugby because it's doing well, because they would love to claim that. And it's our. We were good in boxing. What happened? Now, if we can take people who have pride, who knows that South Africa has talent, people who have been in sports, people who will respect South Africa will do better.
Edward, I need to ask you this because it's what I am hearing, and I could be hearing this wrong. Are you saying that because rugby remained largely white, and we know the deal that was made with Utatu Mandela back in the day, you know, to unify the country and allowing the Springboks to keep their Springbok and not, you know, be a part of the Proteas, are you saying everything else that has been taken over, when you say this leadership, I'm assuming you're talking about the current, which is black people, are you saying everything that we as black people put our hands in is therefore not successful?
You see, as South African, we must be able to discuss difficult conversation with each other.
Well, let's have that difficult conversation. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm going to answer you. Answer you. You see, and I'm sure whoever is driving now, they want to hear what is going to be my answer. And my answer is yes. We do not have pride as black people. And let me tell you one thing. Rugby, the way it is, look at it and look at the leadership. And this is what we don't want to talk about. If this was said by a white person, everybody would be calling and saying, no, he's a racist. Hear it from a black man. Guys, as black leadership, we do not have pride. You know, there's a saying, an empty stomach makes a very stupid man. If you take the leadership that has no clue, that doesn't have pride, this is what is going to happen. Look at soccer. Look at boxing, look at it, and say, who is in leadership? Why are we not doing well? What's wrong with us? There's nothing wrong in us.
I want to play the devil's advocate here a little bit, Edward.
Please, feel
free. And say, let's look at the swimming pool where we do achieve. Yes, we're not number one, we're not the best in the world, but I think that's the next best thing, where we achieve greatness, where we achieve world records and medals. Every Olympics, we know that the swimming pool will give it, and there's not a black person there.
You see, this is exactly what I'm telling you. There's no black person, and we do have them.
I don't want to believe that. I refuse, Edward, to believe that we as black people do not have the credentials, do not have the work ethic to craft and make world champions. I refuse. With that being said, I hear you. And I'm hoping that the many that are on the line now are going to counter that argument, and they're going to give you something to think about. Edward, thank you so much for that.
Let's take one step back. Before you drop me, let's take one step back. Let's put what we have won and let's compare the leadership. And I'm not being disrespectful, but I'm saying the manner in which we select our leadership, the manner in which we select our leadership, it's costing us. And hence, I'm saying, let us be able to say things as they are. Then we'll be heading to the right direction.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm not one of those people that believes that white is better. I truly am not, in any form. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's the tanning world champions. I'm not one of those people that believes that based on that you are better. So then what do you say to what Edward has just said when he says, the swimming pool, the rugby, it's all just white people run? Majority. I actually don't know anybody that works in swimming that is black. I haven't heard of them. If they are there, please forgive me. Send me your name so I can give you a shout out. Let's go to Sia. Sia's out in Cape Town. Sia. I'm not good, Sia.
Yeah, we are all not good, man.
Talk to me.
Unfortunately, we'll agree with the last caller, Edward. Not in such a way, but we need to face the facts, Andile. We need to face the facts. One, there was a caller who actually said that we have people who are in wrong positions. For example, look at our SAFA cabinet. The moment you start to mix sport with politics, then you have a failure that is coming. One way or the other, because now we have politicians running our sport industry. People who know nothing about football, for example. Why can't we take the people who won, like the AFCON in 1996, Labo Lucas Kadepe, we have Dr. Kumaro, we have Labo Eric Tinkler, we have Benny McCarthy, who are doing wonderful, by the way, in Man United. We have people who know the identity of our football, who know what we need. And then the favoritism and all these politics that are happening, they are killing our sport industry at all. Look at what's happening at cricket, what happened at cricket. As much as we don't want to say the leadership of black people is failing us, but what happens when they take over? Have we ever succeeded in anything after we had black people running or ruling? Let me just put it like that. I agree with you when you say not black people. Also me, I'm going to say it. We are not failures as black people, but we have the wrong people in the wrong places.
See, I don't even want to say goodbye to you because it might be truth that I'm maybe not willing to accept yet. So I'm just going to hang up and say goodbye as I take class. Thank you so much, Sia, out in Cape Town. Class is in Pretoria. Am I missing a truth that's in front of me that I do not want to accept? Class.
Andile.
Talk to me.
Yes. I think we don't have leaders there, Andile. We are in trouble, big trouble. And the last caller is saying we need to get those people who have experience and then we put them on the position. Those people also need to study. It's very important because of this thing of using people with experience without qualifications. Look at our government. People got experience, but they don't have qualifications. That is why they are failing these people, because of they are not well equipped. They are just using old methods. Things are changing every day. If Metro is not doing well, we are not going to Andile, we are going to leaders. It means they are not selecting the right people. They are not developing people correctly. It's very important to have good. We don't have good leaders. We have Minister of Electricity. That minister doesn't have any qualification, got nothing to do with electricity, which is a problem. We don't have leaders, Andile. It's only what I can say, mister.
Class, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So seemingly it's not a sporting thing, it's a societal thing. It's a leadership thing is what you're saying. Thank you so much. I'm going to try once again to call a leader. A man who's supposed to be on this show right now, answering the questions that you are now having to field. The conversation that we're having, I'm supposed to be having with James Molloy. And you might say to me, Andile, load shedding. No, guys. You are president of Athletics South Africa who's made a commitment to speak to South Africans on the biggest platform for sport available in the country to address a major fumble. And your phone is either off, not picked up, or under load shedding? That is just not good enough. I'm sorry, that is not good enough. For me, there's no excuse for that. When I try to call James Molloy again, it's a little bit hard right now trying to find a line. But let's try. Okay, let's get a line there. Yeah. There we go. I'm going to try and call the Athletics South Africa president. I mean, there's 15 minutes to go. I'm not sure how much we can get in now. Last week, we're asked for grace to say, Andile, let us get our story together. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can't seem Timmy there with the phone. I don't know what else to do. Let's take a break. When we come back, your voice notes and more your calls till top of the hour. It's 18:47. Let me take A.S.A Temba calls out in Pretoria and then play some of your voice notes because they are coming in. But in the meantime, let me take A.S.A Temba. I don't want to stingy you of those as well. But I see a lot of your tweets out here as well. I'll read a couple of those. Let me go to A.S.A Temba. A.S.A Temba. I know ngizopila.
Last week we spoke about this thing on Tuesday. I said the problem is with administration. We got people, just like the chancellor said, We've got people who are in strategic positions who do not know what is that they are doing. And in South Africa, we've got this tendency of being okay with underachieving. That is the problem. Right now, even if there's a mess that is happening, there's no accountability. If you go to other countries that are serious about their business, just look at the likes of Egypt when the Egypt didn't perform. You saw what happens in the entire administration. People were moving. In South Africa, we do not perform.
And people aren't, those guys aren't told. Coaches, presidents, chairmen, they aren't told who to know you must go. They come back and they say, I have dishonored this, therefore I am leaving this post.
Exactly. So in South Africa, we are okay with underachieving. We are okay with mediocrity. We're just that country that accepts everything, and it starts with our political affairs. It goes down to our education. We are told about 33%, and no one is saying anything. We just accept everything. We just accept. Today, from the political affairs going to down how our business we run them, how we run a country as a whole. It goes down to sports. It goes down to everything. We're just okay with being underachievers. That's where the problem is. I think we need to change our mentality. As soon as we change our mentality, then we can put people in the position, people who deserve to be in those positions. You will only find out that people who are training these athletes, people who are in a position to be equipping these athletes to go into the world stage to perform for us, they do not even have the necessary skills or the skills that are correct to make those people to compete against the best in the world.
So Siatemba, what you're saying is it should not be, it is the same in political where they say, hey, crime is at the highest it's ever been. Yet the minister of police is still there. You say, hey, there's a huge crisis in electricity. Yet the people that are in charge of making sure that are still there. I hear you 100%.
Exactly, and as a country, it goes down to us as a country as well as people. We're just accepting these things, and I think it's one thing that they always say about us. We forget too quickly. Something will happen today. We'll be angry. We'll be talking about it over social media, but next week we totally forgot about that thing, and we're just moving on. And that's where the problem is. That is why people who are in positions, they know that they can do something today, and tomorrow they're gonna get away with it because we easily forget about these things that are affecting our lives. They're going to affect the future generations because today we are not putting a stop into all this nonsense that is happening in our country.
Athletics South Africa, if they think we're going to forget September, they must think of something else. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. September Kosa out in Pretoria. I can't ignore all your voice notes. There's so many of them. Malcolm, let's go to it.
Good evening, Ma'a. Lennon from Gauteng, currently in the Free State. Listen, there's a guy that called in now, Akulumange Jojo, the bribery. Look, that guy. When Lalipola went to trials, I experienced it. Ngabe manje sikhuluma enye into jami ngabe yithi abantu beba right ke for idisk. We saw people bangena ngenyuku there. So yeah, I fully agree with you, Tim.
Shop with Andile.
Hey.
As Marapem I just think now we have unrealizable potential. Kubona kwa economics, economic cycle, to kune peak period, bene boom period, bene recession. Tina seligla peak, we never reach the boom period. That's what's wrong at Pim man, guess sports is said. Our sports athletes, they never realize their potential. Apela nje ngabanda wane potential cha pelele yapho.
King Andile. Mabhekane la Broncos spread. Answer bro, I think as South Africans, when it comes to sports, we are not that good, man. But when it comes to corruption, we are good in such a way that we even demoralize the sports. That's why you can see what happened to Banyana. So in corruption, no, we are the best. Sharp Andile.
Andile, I think our talent lies in the deep rurals, and if they're not scouted, then yeah, we are not well represented, I think.
Andile ole para, Andile oncha. I just like the way it plays. Whenever it plays here, I get excited. Anyways, no, Andile, The only problem is that in our sports facilities, it is being politicized. You see, that's why we are not good enough. We are not taking pride of the freedom that we got. So I think they must lower the salaries because they are only throwing money. That's the only problem. So that's why we are not good enough.
And the stand by from Dobsonville. Where is our George Weah? Where is our South African heroes that we used to have? Because now you can never tell me about somebody like Zizi Koda. Who is Zizi Koda to sport? You know what I'm saying? Minister of Sports, those type of things. So this is where the roots are rotten. So if we can't fix the roots, the trees will never grow. We've got a big problem here. Let's sort it out. Politicians must be politicians. Ministers with a good quality of knowledgeable backgrounds, they must be appointed. Not just because you've been in struggle or you've been at ANC or at DA forever. No, we have to look at it in a proper manner.
I must defend.
I'm not happy like you said. You're not happy yourself. So yeah, it's worse by me. Thank.
100%. I must defend administrators as a whole, including Minister Zizi Kodwa. And you know very well that on this show there's no golden cow. You know, we don't do that sort of thing. But I must defend administrators, even all the way to Dennis Jordan. I don't think you necessarily have to have been a great sports person in order to be a good administrator. I'm not calling you out of the fact that you were never a sports person, therefore you can't be a good administrator. No, I'm calling you out because you're a bad administrator. Period. Administration, the one thing that you did, the one thing that you are in charge of, what you should be doing, is what you're not great at. Because under your administration, we're not seeing results. That is what I'm saying. Whether you came from teaching before or you came from being a traffic officer before, if you're a great administrator, is what I'm asking. Are you a great administrator? Netball South Africa has a great administrator. That's what I'm talking about. Are we world beaters there? Not yet. But you see the potential of it one day becoming. But even there, we're not world beaters. Let's take more of your calls as well. I see they are coming in. Peter, John, I'll come to you in just a bit. Let's go to Peter. Peter's out in Pretoria. Peter. Oh, terribly sorry, Peter. Let's go to John. John is in, what is that, Timmy? John, where are you?
I'm in Kalinin, Rasile.
Oh, no, Timmy can't spell Kalinin. Timmy Mushapile Kalinin. What's a Callingham? Anyway, talk to me.
Andile, yeah, it pains me so much, Ohore. We mix our football with politics. And this thing, the politics, it has failed. Because, you know, when you appoint somebody who's not well equipped, who does not have the love for the sport, will only do things just to fill up their pockets. Problem, even now, look at the PSL. It's been run by the club bosses. Just think of it. Club bosses, they are running the PSL. Why don't they hire an administrative company to run the PSL in order for it to grow? No, but it's run by club bosses. And even if something is made from Kodimu, back in the politics, so sometimes not it will move from start. That's all I can say.
John, out in Cullinan, Pretoria side, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you're wondering what it is that we're on about for the last hour, we've been taking your calls and having you speak your mind. We're supposed to be hosting the President of Athletics South Africa, James Molloy, for whatever reason. And for me, there just isn't a reason good enough after we'd agreed for the engagement of a topic so important. South Africa, second World Championships in a row. We've got Paris happening very shortly. And we're not meddling. It's 3 after the hour 7. Thank you so much. Hey, Timmy. Pela, Nantomi.